Have you driven down the road on travel day only to arrive at your destination and realize that the cabinets opened and the contents spilled out all over your RV? Well, in today's video, we are going to share with you our solution that has prevented this from happening to us after we damaged our 2025 Brinkley Z 3100. Hello there, it's Patrick from Real Trailer Life. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing how we tackle the problem of cabinets opening up while traveling down the road in our RV. We will discuss exactly what happened to us and our RV. We will share with you the different items we discovered that can help prevent this from happening in the future. We will share with you what we did to prevent this from happening to us again. And then lastly, we will share with you some tips on installing that we needed to do in order to make this install successful. And we will also give you the results of our solution. So stay tuned to the end of this video to find out more. And if you're liking this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up as it helps our channel grow. Today's video is sponsored by our partners at ABC Upfitters. They are a company based out of Elkhart, Indiana, who specialize in the installation of amazing solar systems in any kind of RV. The products that they use are made by Mastervolt, who is well known in the marine segment of the world, where you can find their products installed in luxury yachts and high-end sailboats. And if you think being off-grid on land requires reliability, imagine being in the middle of the ocean. The line of products that they use are all from the same manufacturer, and they all communicate extremely well with each other. ABC Upfitters installs systems at manufacturer levels also with companies like Rockwood, Flagstaff, Cedar Creek, just to name a few. And they can also design and install a custom system for you in whatever RV you're using in your journeys and off-grid life. And when you call ABC Upfitters, you are not just talking to a call center. You are speaking with knowledgeable staff whose goal is to create a system that fulfills your needs. Give them a call for a free consultation. They can be reached at 574-333-3225 or by emailing them at sales@abcupfitters.com. And we will put all their contact information in the show notes for today's episode. A couple of weeks ago, we were traveling through Ohio and the roads were extremely bumpy. Of course, this happens a lot when you're towing your home down the road. When we arrived at our campground, we went to pull out the first slide and everything was going just fine until it wasn't. We heard a sound that made our hearts stop. We immediately stopped what we were doing and went to investigate. Lo and behold, an electronic device that was stored in a cabinet above our sofa was on the floor, jammed in between where the slide wall meets the slide. We moved the slide back in a bit, removed the item, and assessed the damage. One of the fascia boards was pulled out from the slide, and it appeared as though a metal panel that the fascia board was attached to was bent as well. But there was no real structural damage or no real major structural damage. Once the slide was out in the final resting spot, we noticed that the slide was not completely seated at the bottom of the slide. Nothing major. We investigated a little bit more, and a bracket on the slide out was bent, and we will replace that when we get to Arizona in the next couple of weeks. After that trip where the electronics fell out, we vowed to inspect the coach after traveling and before extending the slide outs. Well, on our very next trip, it happened again. But this time we caught it before we went to move the slide outs. This time the culprit was a plastic bin that was full of wires and connectors for our electronics. They were all over the floor, and after cleaning up the mess and being sure we got everything, we were able to extend the slide out. But we quickly realized that we needed a solution to prevent this from happening in the future. After all, we didn't want to do any more damage to our home. So we started searching the internet for ideas. We saw people had used tension bars like these. And after looking at this a little bit more, we discovered this option was not going to work for us, as there were no walls between each of the cabinet doors. We also found that people would use pipe cleaners or reusable zip ties, bungee cords, and have them connected to the handles that were positioned close to each other. Again, this was not a solution that was going to work for us. We have cabinet doors where the handles just are not next to each other. Well, then we reached back a few years and we started thinking about when we had kids and what we did to keep cabinets closed from little hands trying to gain access. There are a number of products out there that can be used, but most of them are hideous and show on the outside of the cabinets. Then we found these. Deluxe magnetic locking systems made by Safety First. There are other models and suppliers out there that you can find on Amazon, but we choose to go with Safety First because of their reputation. Now these mount on both the cabinet frame and the door, and after being properly installed, they work amazingly. When the device on the cabinet door is set to the locked position, we close the door, and the only way the door is going to be opening is with this magnetic key. It's that simple. And when you're at your destination, you can set the switch to the unlocked position and the cabinet operates normally as if it would every single day. The installation for these is pretty simple. You mount the catch on the door frame of the cabinet about 1 inch away from the corner. Using the template that they supply, you mark where the screw holes will be. Then, using a 7/64 drill bit, you pre-drill the holes and install the catch. After these are installed, again using the template, with the sticky pad uncovered, you slide the template onto the catch, close the door until the template contacts the door, open the door, mark the holes where you need to drill for the magnetic lock. Now, after we did the first one, we realized that the magnetic lock sat too far back from the catch, even with the catch mounted flush to the cabinet frame, and the cabinet would not lock. So we went back to the hardware store where we purchased longer screws and washers, which would enable us to make the magnetic lock move closer to the catch and finally lock the door. The screws we purchased were number 6 3/4 inch sheet metal screws like these, and number 6 washers. We did everything as we previously described, but we placed washers between the cabinet door and the magnetic locks, and this added more space between the lock and the cabinet door, which is why we needed the longer screws. Each door was a little different. Some of the doors required only 1 washer on each screw, some required 2, and the most we used on any one set of screws was 3 washers. And that's it. We installed a lock on each of the cabinets that we were concerned about opening during travel. And on travel day, one of the things that we added to our pre-travel checklist, engaging the locks on each of the cabinet doors and verifying that the lock is latched correctly, preventing the door from opening. When we arrive at our destination, we use the magnetic lock to open up the door like this. We open up the door to check for contents shifting and then set the lock into the unlock state. We store our magnetic keys on a bracket mounted above our television, and these magnets are strong. So, how has this worked for us? Well, in the last few weeks, we have yet to have a cabinet open while we're traveling on a travel day. Mind you, we still climb over the center island and check to make sure nothing has fallen out and is laying on the floor. And we will continue with this process each travel day. So if you're concerned about your cabinets opening in your RV while you're traveling, we suggest installing these deluxe magnetic locks manufactured by Safety First. We purchased ours from Home Depot, where they give veterans a 10% discount on almost every item that they sell. But you can find them online at the usual places, Target, Amazon, or even your local hardware store. Have you had problems with your RV cabinets opening during travel days? If so, share your ideas on how you solved the problem in the comments below. We would love to hear your ideas. Thanks for watching, and always stay safe. We will see you the next time. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can catch our next video. We will see you on the road.